Well, I am very passionate about this industry. I was thrilled to get into it. My father was an independent oil and gas operator in Texas. I did grow up in the business, although I didn't know much about it until I got much older and learned what a landman is. And in fact, I am a landman, although I work the deepwater Gulf of Mexico area, so I should be called a water woman, I guess. Access is key to our company. Fortunately, the central and western areas of the Gulf of Mexico are open to drilling oil and gas wells. The eastern Gulf of Mexico, most of it is not open, although a small amount is. If we don't have access, we can't drill oil and gas wells. We have really talented explorationists, geologists, geophysicists that identify areas where we think there are pools of oil and gas, predominantly oil, where we drill. And if we were unable to obtain the leases to those prospects, or that cover those prospects, we would never be able to access that oil and gas. And therefore, that oil and gas would not be available to heat homes, to run our automobiles, to run our factories, to run our industries. There are so many jobs in Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and states throughout the United States that depend on the oil and gas industry. I know Texas does. I have so many relatives that are or were in the oil and gas business. Well, it was an entirely new experience for me, and an experience that I enjoyed very much. I would say the surprise I experienced was in finding that there's a lot of information about our industry that a lot of congressmen, senators, and their staffers just are not aware of. And so it was very exciting to me and to so many of the other women who were here today and yesterday to be able to share a lot of this information that we assume people know, but we've learned they don't necessarily know. One of the things I was able to express in one of the meetings I attended was the time that it takes, particularly in the deepwater Gulf of Mexico, to identify a prospect, to buy the leases, consolidate leases with other companies' leases offsetting, shoot seismic, and then reprocess seismic, and then possibly have to reprocess it again in order to be able to truly get the best image of this subsalt prospect, which is what we drill in the Gulf of Mexico, and this can take years. And I had people look at me and say they had absolutely no idea the time that it took. And so I was so happy to be able to deliver that message because I think that there's certainly an opinion that oil and gas companies buy acreage and then sit on it and do nothing with it. And I can assure you that is not the case. Cobalt, for instance, has spent over $650 million in the last 3 years buying federal leases in offshore lease sales. And the last thing we want to do is make that type of investment without trying to be able to explore on this acreage, to drill the wells that we want to drill, to prove up these prospects.